searching, solving mysteries in the night. Chasing shadows, finding answers, shining bright light. No one's left behind, in the darkness all alone. With a heart like a siren, she brings the lost ones home. Silent cries in the dark no longer have to be, for justice wheels keep turning, granny on the beat. Broken voices find their power, call out hope again. When these crime busters run, no victims left in pain. Bravery in her veins, truth she won't disguise. With a fire in her eyes, she's got nothing to deny. Granny fights for justice, never backs down from the call. For the voiceless and the missing, she'll stand tall.
Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing today? Hello, Lori, Kirdy, good to see you. Those who are in the bushes hiding, hello. We're happy to have you here. Let's get started with our spotlight on the missing. Today we have Messiah Owens, missing since yesterday, guys, August 4th, from Alexandria, Virginia. He's 15 years old, has a medical condition that requires medication. So let's keep him in our prayers that he's found quickly for his parents' sake and for his health, sounds like. Let's not forget about Jonathan Huang, 21-year-old autistic young man, missing, believed to be in the Kirkland, Washington area, missing since March 30th of this year. He is said to be functioning at an 8 or 9-year-old level. His only social interaction has been mostly with his, basic family members. So he really needs to be home. Let's not forget about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, missing since February 26th, last seen February 25th, 2024. Sebastian needs to be home. There is a $500,000 reward leading to information to the arrest of the individuals responsible and for his disappearance. Travis Decker still out there, guys. Nothing found on him yet. He's wanted for 3 counts of first-degree red rum, 3 counts of first-degree kidnapping in the red rum of his daughters, Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia, seen there with their mom. It's important that they are home. If anyone sees him, do not approach. Call 911 right away. He could be armed and dangerous. The next thing that I wanted to show was Austin Drummond. See, I think I have a picture of him. Forgot to upload it. He has been captured, which is an incredible thing. So he was captured this morning. A man saw him. There he is in the arms of the police. So I imagine we will be finding out more information as the days go by. Looks like he was staying in somebody's boathouse. Interesting. Boathouse, pool house, something like that is what I heard. So wondered how he could change and do all that. Well, yeah, because yesterday he had on fatigues, and now today he was caught with just a brown hoodie and brown sweatpants on. All right, let's see what I'm missing here. Yes, Lori, thank you. Yeah. Have you ever had days when you're missing somebody? It was 3rd year since my dad passed away. and I was really, really close to him all my life. Um, I have to admit, it still hurts that he's not here. It still does. Lacey was his dog. Just so much with it. But it was a day that I just didn't feel like being social, right? It was one of those days where I just couldn't keep it together enough to go live and um, try to be somewhat upbeat, right? It was just too hard. But yeah, I'm doing all right. That was the only reason. Hello, Walla. Good to see you. Hello, Ginger Girl. Good to see you. Kristen, hello. Yeah, I thought he was thinner too, right? I don't know. Very weird, isn't it? Um, my question is about the girlfriend, right? The one that's pregnant, allegedly pregnant with this child. Um, like, was she in on it? Because she lived in those apartments near where he was found. Yeah, yeah. Well, after my mom died in 2013, I moved in with my dad, and then we lived together up until he passed away in 2022. Um, so yeah, it was rough. Hello, Anna. Good to see you. Brian, hello, hello. Yes, it was a good catch. I can't imagine what that community felt like. You know, I don't know if you guys saw the pictures of him um walking around with an AR-15 in his hand around a church of all places. Ginger. No. All I can do is laugh. I don't even have a comeback for that one. But you're right. I don't even know if it's a B cup. It'd be an A. Oh my goodness. Um, I was just so happy, to see that he was captured. I really was. When you see pictures of him walking around with an AR-15 out in the open, guys, yes, it was dark, right? It was. It was like 11 o'clock at night when that video was taken. But yeah, just sad. Hello, Osprey. Yeah. You know, when you think about it, and somebody said this, I forget who I was listening to. He has spent a decade in jail, right? So he's 29 or going to be 29 very soon. He has only spent 16 years of his entire life, the time he was a baby, out of prison. That's sad. That's really, really sad. Hello, Leslie. Good to see you. Welcome in. And yeah, he had, I guess his parents were supplying him with enough money, and he actually had a shelf for keeping his commissary items. He had, he was able to play video games. He had a TV. He was ordering pizza in. I didn't even know that was possible at all, guys. I didn't even know that. So, I don't know. They're saying that he had gang affiliation, all kinds of stuff. You saw the pictures and videos last night. Yeah. Yeah. Just scary. Just scary. And the one video looked like he was signaling to somebody. So, and they have arrested 4 people now for accessory for helping him. Well, I hope not, but this is when he was in prison before. So blows my mind. I certainly hope that they don't, right? I certainly hope that they don't let him. You would think that there would be a limit on commissary, guys. I don't know. AHC, yeah. Yes, and my dad was the same way. Everyone who knew him loved him. Yeah, there's more coming down, I'm sure of it. I wouldn't doubt if his girlfriend, I don't know, I heard they broke up just before this all happened, so I don't know. Some are saying, they were speculating, of course, that he was sticking around the area. He had vehicles, guys. He could have left the area. He could have, and he didn't. They found all his vehicles that he was running around with. He didn't leave. And he was staying around the area where his girlfriend lived. But when he went missing, when they found out about her sister and her niece and nephew, and she went to stay with her parents. So she was no longer at that apartment anymore. So he'll talk and get more pinned on others and get the lesser charge to get off and blame others. I don't think he's going to get off, Kristen. I mean, the other 4, one was for aiding and abetting him, but the other 3 were for accessory after the fact. So I don't know if they helped. I don't know what they did. But I don't know. He's the one that's going to be charged with red rum for 4 counts of red rum. I would be surprised, having been in prison before, if he would talk. I don't know. But you could be right. Usually they'd only have those kinds of luxuries if he earned them for good behavior, if he was helping the authorities in some way. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, could be. Somebody says he has gang affiliation. I don't know if that was part of it. Some guards let that stuff go on. So true, Osprey. You become a better criminal in jail. And if he's going on 29 or is 29, he's lived a lot of his life, his growing up years, right, in jail. So that's what he knows. He probably wasn't that comfortable on the outside, honestly. Yeah, and that's what, except that, Tennessee, I don't know, are they going to go for the death penalty, or are they going to let him get off? No, I wouldn't want him coming to my door. He was checking those church doors, see if they were, yeah. with an AR, carrying an AR-15. No way. I haven't for quite a while, Kristen. Yeah. I used to say unalived because YouTube doesn't like the real word. They dock us for that. But I really got a lot of flack for saying unalived. So I don't get as much when I say red rum. So hello, Wendy. Yes, grateful for that person. You know what though? Somebody brought up a really good point, guys. That guy was interviewed. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, it's right here. So I'll share my screen. Let me get this off of here first. I'll share my screen with you. And I'll show you the video of that guy.
Nobody wants to walk down there.
All right. So what's your name?
My name is Ricardo Contreras.
Ricardo Contreras. And tell us a little bit about what just happened.
Well, what happened was we are working over here, and we saw the guy walking in the middle of the wood.
Thank you.
And we thought nobody wants to walk in the middle of the wood in the middle of this stuff. So we was kind of very sure it was the guy. So I called the police immediately when the guy was walking right there, and kind of give them the location and everything. And they be hearing about, actually I was on the phone when they got here. So, and I'm really glad they got it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
The hero. Best.
Well,
great job,
they
big
are
dog.
the hero. I just called them, I just called them. They are the heroes. I'm the hero.
So there you have it. That is the guy who called in when he saw him. Thank the Lord, right? But here's my only question is if Austin Drummond is in a gang, not a good idea for this guy to be going public. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I'd be on TV. I don't think I'd be on the news. Yeah. I know that he is excited, right? And probably shocked that his call was the one that made them get him. But no, he was just in the right place at the right time. He wasn't not like he was tracking him or anything. He just, saw a guy walking in the woods and, but yes, absolutely, Lori, he could be a target now, and that's not a good thing ever, right? Hello, Crystal. Good to see you. So yeah, that kind of bothered me. It was like, oh no, he might have put himself in harm's way. That's never good. Yeah. I didn't think about it either until somebody I was listening to. I watched a few different ones this morning, so I can't say for sure who it was, but mentioned that, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're right. If I were him, I'd be hiding out now. I'd be hiding out. He can't do anything about it now, but I don't know. And it does seem to make sense that he is in a gang from the prison because of all the stuff he had. I don't know. Because don't they trade their commissary for other things, right? So wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? And we are going to get there. So so today I kind of wanted to when we're talking about Jack and Lily, I wanted to kind of talk about another spot. Before I do that, I'm going to bring up something. So, public advisory from Nova Scotia, RCMP are in the vicinity of Pictou Landing Road in Chance Harbor as part of an ongoing investigation. Residents can expect to see a police presence. Please avoid the area to allow officers to do their work. So I looked it up, right? So Pictou Landing Road is this road right here. This is Chance Harbor Beach. Okay. So what, and this is near the North Cumberland Strait, guys. This is the North Cumberland Strait. So is there a possibility? I mean, I don't know. Now someone who, I can't remember who it was that told me the North Cumberland Strait, the currents are bad, right? But that they push toward not go out, right? That's what they told me. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, could it be possible that the kids were taken here, washed back up? Or did they get a tip that they're there? We've been talking about the Bay of Fundy. And I do want to just say this, guys. So when I talk about the kids being in the Bay of Fundy, I'm not talking about laying them on the ground after the tide goes out and waiting for. I'm not talking about that. I mean, that would be silly, right? That'd be pretty stupid. In my opinion, if Daniel did that, he would time it properly, right? He would time it knowing the tide was going to be going out and then dump them at that point. That would be my thinking, not that they were laid on the ground. But, oh, sorry. Let me pull up the map. Okay. So this is Pictou Landing Road right here. You guys see it now? Let's make that a little bigger. So this is the road right here. This is Chance Harbor. So they were along here somewhere. I don't know if, like right here. I mean, I don't know, right? So was he over here? Was he by the beach? I mean, I don't know, right? Either way, it does dump into the ocean. Hello, Sandra. Good to see you. Chemistry Queen, Brian. Good to see everybody. Yes, this is pertaining to Jack and Lily. You think the Minas Basin? I don't know. So, but anyway, I wanted to bring up, this other point. We have talked about the North Cumberland Strait, but the fact that they are in this area and they're searching, Does that mean they're searching the water, searching the shorelines? I mean, I don't know, guys. But keep in mind, there's a reason, right, that they are searching. They had to have gotten some kind of tip or something. Hello, Crime Science. Good to see you. Hello, Trees. Good to see you. So they, I mean, they had to have gotten some kind of tip. Now, do you want to know where Gerlach Road is, where they live? Remember, Chance Harbor's right here, guys. They live down here. So if we did Gerlach Road to Chance Harbor, "25 minutes, guys. 25 minutes to get there. If we did Gerlach Road to Bay of Fundy, okay, so let's do, I tried that before, Advocate Harbor, Nova Scotia. That's 2 hours and 25 minutes to get to the Bay of Fundy. Advocate Harbor. So the Chance Harbor, 25 minutes, guys. I don't know. What do you think? Yeah, that's not very far at all. They have been here and there. They just are not advertising it. When did this happen? They put out a notice that people had to stay away from the road yesterday, I'm thinking. So, I mean, as far as the timeline, Chance Harbor seems more probable. I don't know. Explorer Corps, hello. The RCMP have been in that area for at least 2 weeks. They didn't put out a public notice then. Okay. Hello, Mr. Hemi. Good to see you. Yes, Ginger, we will be praying for you. They found the missing woman dead not far from there on Sunday. That's sad. Yeah, it does. If that's the case, and if what I've been told is true, that things seem to wash up along the Northland Strait on the shores, then I hope that something washes up. The Fundy tide comes into the Shubenacadie, how do I say that? Shubenacadie River, Did I say that right? But that's interesting as well. The only thing I would think about rivers is that there's so many twists and turns that could get caught up really easily. But can you email it to me, Kirty? I will show it then. Granny's Crime Busters, S on the end, at gmail.com. Ginger, can you put the link to my email in? Might be easier for her. Oh, okay. I think it's because they found the woman that was missing and they're investigating. Okay. So you think it might not have anything to do with Jack and Lily's case? That would make sense, right? That they'd be investigating for that purpose. That would make sense. In between Berwick and Lawrencetown. I'm looking. I don't see either one of them. I don't know though. So Pictou Landing Road is right here. And I don't, this is all Chance Harbor. Hmm. Close, Granny. Shubenacadie. Okay. Thank you. Shubenacadie. Do we have an inkling as to where Daniel fished or competed as a fisherman? Yes, hang on. I will pull that up. So I did a screenshot and then I can find it on Facebook once I see it again. Okay, so lunker trunk. Hang on. Okay. So it's on Facebook, lunker trunk. This is who he fished for. I looked at all the photos because you had to go back. And I just looked for Dan. There he is. This was 2020. I don't know the terrain. It doesn't say anything. There, and he did a lot with this one. Here's another one. 2019. So he must like to fish every year with these guys. So there's a picture of him in 2020. This one's 2019. Even his mom said, "Way to go, Daniel. Congrats." Let's see. There was more. I know there was more. (2019) They don't say where they're taking these pictures from. There you go, Walla. Was it you that thought I made up this picture? I didn't make it up. It's on Lunker Drunk. See? Big catch of the day. No, that's not him. All right. Oh, here's him. There's a bridge back here. Here's him again. See, he's underneath the bridge. So anyway, he liked to fish for tournaments for Lunker Trunk. And who knows what other tournaments he fished for. Looks like they do a lot of lakes. I think that was all I saw of Daniel when I went through there. But I mean, that was quite a bit, right? You wanted to get an idea as to what currency might be more familiar with. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, other than that, they didn't really show the lake that he was on, right? I mean, I don't know. It's too hard to tell on the map. Yes, it was an ugly fish. River, I mean, I don't know. If you look here, they talk about different lakes, right? Cox's Lake, Beaverbank Lake, Miller Lake. But when they actually take the picture of the guys, they don't say what lake they're on. I don't know if there's a reason for that. Oh. Shubenacadie River. Did I say it right? That's not Daniel, but there you go. Shubenacadie River. Beavers Bank Lake, Tucker Lake, Powder Mill Lake, Kinsick Lake, Springfield Lake, Barrett Lake, Piggott Lake, Loon Lake, Tucker Lake. Powder Mill Lake. Yeah, lots of lakes, guys. So I don't know. I won't come at you, chemistry. All of us are entitled to our opinions. Please don't come at me, but my hopes are dwindling. I pray every day for them, but it seems like all these cases share an ending of essentially no ending. I know. For some reason, though, I can't shake the feeling that somebody's going to end up talking here. I could be wrong, but I just have this weird, strange feeling. And I'm not psychic, guys. I don't really believe in that stuff. So it's not anything like that. Even if the search is for the kids, I don't think RCMP would announce it. I'm Canadian, and I know the RCMP keep things to themselves until there is proof and an arrest made. Yes. And guys, in this public advisory, all they said is they are in the vicinity of Pictou Landing Road in Chance Harbor as part of an ongoing investigation. Residents can expect to see a police presence. Please avoid the area to allow officers to do their work. They're not saying what investigation. They're not saying why they're there. They're not saying anything. So Crime Science is correct. They're not going to say what they're doing there. I don't know, Lori. I would imagine that's the way it is in the States, but I don't know how Canada is. So, guys from Canada, do you know what the criteria are for permits for fishing in Canada? It was a walleye pickerel, yummy. You appreciate the sleuthing on Daniel. Well, I had seen that picture that I showed you. This one. Somebody had shared it, right? And so I looked it up. I looked them up on Facebook. And then I saw all the, things. So I don't know. That was why I went down that rabbit hole. But it looks like past 2020, at least his picture's not showing. I don't know. But that is how I looked for it. Hello, Jessica Love. Looks like he's lost a lot of weight. Maybe rugs is an issue with them. Yeah. I think he's having to take weekly drug tests now. Whoops, I meant drug tests. But if you look at his first interview on the left-hand side and his most recent interview, you can tell that he was very, very drawn here. His eyes look bad. To me, he looked like he was on drugs at that point. I will say that this picture was taken on a rainy day. Remember, it was raining when the kids went missing. It was overcast. And the second picture was taken inside with lighting and probably filters and all that other stuff. But you can kind of see how he is more filled out in the second picture. So do I think that rugs were an issue? Malaya has said it was. I think it was, but I can't prove anything, right? I don't know. Hello, Dribby. Shubanakity. That's a hard one. uh, you say Shuby for short. Let's do that. From now on, I'm just going to say Shuby. That way I don't butcher it for those of you who are local. I wish they would as well. I'm sure RCMP has thought of it and wonder if they have searched in the water. Only family pushing for a search in the water is a problem. Here's the thing, though. If they're in the ocean, you know, we're 3 months out, guys. I don't think we're going to find anything. You know, now, if what I was told about the North Cumberland Strait is true and things wash up on the shores, searching the shores, I could understand that, right? To see if something washed up a while back, right? But like the backpack or clothing or something, right? I know a lot whose favorite striped bass fishing spots are Avonport and Walton. Walton is closer to Daniel. Gotcha. Yeah. And, you know, he can't stay quiet, right? He just can't. He may go a little while and then he can't do it, right? And Malaya is opening up more too. So I don't know, guys. I feel like yeah, exactly, Jay. Somebody's gonna crack. I feel it. I just feel it. I will say this, I'm gonna say this. I really hope and pray that I am wrong. I don't think we're ever gonna get any bodies. My opinion. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that I'm wrong. Um, Daniel's too smug about that fact. Too smug about that. So that's why I think they're in the ocean. Again, I really hope I'm wrong. I really do. Chemistry queen. Wouldn't it be nice if we all were? Then we'd have nothing to talk about, though. I am a bit shook that they canvassed for 5,000 videos. Yeah, that is a lot of footage. And it does make me wonder, did they take the kids out on the ATV, right? We did see that there were ATV routes to the Bay of Fundy. I don't know if I imagine there are to the North Cumberland Strait as well, to Chance Harbor, probably. No license required for striped bass off the coast. Salmon requires a special license. Lakes and inland rivers, often Nova Scotian Nova Scotia fishing license required. Gotcha. I would think Belinda would ask anything to get them back. I kind of agree with you. I don't think she'll stop asking. She just has to ask the right people, right? Yeah, that's kind of how it is in the States. Certain fish, certain types of the year. If the kids are in an ocean, divers and possibly underwater sonar won't find them. The water will eventually give them up, sadly. Yeah, but what about sharks and whales, guys? I mean, I don't, it's one thing if they went out, they had a chip and they went out the same day that the kids went missing. That'd be different. Or even a day or two later, because sometimes they'll surface. But we're 3 months in, guys. I just don't think that's going to happen. Hello, tap dancer Lizzie. I pray every day there is a conscious awareness and they speak the truth. These babies need to be found. Yeah. Or the truth needs to come out. I don't think the babies are going to be found, in my opinion. But like I said, I hope I'm wrong. First Nation people are covered under food, social, and ceremonial license their community holds. That license indicates what species they can fish, where, what methods, quantity, etc. Yeah. It's a good point, Ginger. Makeup and lighting do not change the eyes. Rugs do. Yeah. Used to ice fish. Had an awesome fishing cabin with a wood stove on the river. Police would come with skidoos. Check. Yeah. I was out ice fishing on a lake with my husband, but I didn't like it. You could hear the ice cracking underneath my feet, even though it was like, how it cracks, makes a sound and stuff. Yeah, I didn't. I was. I'm afraid of drowning, so I didn't like ice fishing. Wallace says, I've been wondering if they've actually been gone before Thursday night with the RCMP. I believe said they were seen with family by a known relative. I keep thinking they're not being truthful. Um, I don't think the RCMP would lie about that, in my opinion. I don't think so. Um, I don't know. But I understand what you're saying. I just, they could be they they might not have made it home from being seen, you know. Yes, Kristen, and a pipeline, right? The pipeline, yeah. I'm First Nation and can't fish in Nova Scotia because I'm not covered under an FSC license held by an FN there. Gotcha. I appreciate you guys telling me that, but I'm going to get 5 minutes into this and I'm going to say it wrong again. So I think I'm going to call it Shuby. Ah, interesting. Apparently, there are underwater caves and undercut rocks just offshore in Chance Harbor and around Lansdowne Landing. Wow. There's all kinds of possibilities, huh, guys? Tammy and Explorer, I'm kind of watching, looking at both of your comments. That's just sad. Mm, it's just sad. You should be able to come in and give your opinion and not worry about anybody. The public is coming out and putting more and more pressure. That's what needs to happen. Because I just think that Daniel, Malaya, Janie, one of them are going to end up talking. The picture of the bridge, and could that be a pipeline? The one that Daniel was in on Lunker Trunk? Is that the one you're talking about, Christian? Hi, Neuro. We haven't seen you for a while. Yeah, good to see you again. There are trails, pipeline trails, and the power line trails everywhere. Yeah, I could see that on the one map that we were looking at the other night, the ATV stuff. A lot of trails in that area, which is kind of interesting, you know. Um, I also thought it was odd that they are doing forensics on things collected by the drone footage. Makes you wonder what they found. Interesting. And unmarked trails. Yeah. I don't know whether to believe Daniel that RCMP were using some special secret equipment so can confirm kids not on the property. Well, the drone that they flew underneath the trailer and around the property was heat detecting. So I don't know if that's what Daniel was talking about. Yeah. I mean, that's the whole point of in my opinion, them putting them in the ocean, right, will never be found. Yeah, most of us don't believe anything that they say, um, which, is really sad. Um, because if they come out and say anything, I mean, are the police gonna believe them, especially if there's no way the children can be found? They're in the ocean and there's no, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the best case scenario would be if they were hidden, buried somewhere, and they were able to lead them to their remains, right? But um, if they're in the ocean, that's not going to be the case. And if we if we don't believe them, how much do you think our CMP believes them? Yeah, yeah, it's all about self-preservation. I am looking. Okay. So the map that you just sent me, she was found where this red thing is, right? So which is not, it's near the Bay of Fundy. So it's near the Bay of Fundy, not near Chance Harbor. And if you go back to, sorry guys, hang on just a sorry, she sees somebody outside. She's not going to stop until she does. But if we go back to where they said, oh, gotta love her, gotta love her. Pictou Landing Road is up here by Chance Harbor, not where she was found. Sorry, guys. Brenda showed up. And when Brenda Joe shows up, she goes crazy. Okay. So let's see. I doubt the whales would affect recovery because whales eat differently, but sharks, that's a different story. Yeah. Yeah, and Lori, that's why I think that he is so smug. You know, he really thinks, that's why he thinks he can help, you know. He's just smug. Hello, Chai Tea. There are more and more sharks traveling to Nova Scotia waters now. Yeah. Ice fishing's not for you either, huh, Explorer? Could be Dinglewood for all we know as a known relative. um, I thought that early on in the investigation that they said that that SUV has been vetted. Hello, Andrea. Great whites in Nova Scotia. Gotcha. Read up on whales. They will not eat a human. Sharks will. Gotcha. Um, we don't know for sure that Malaya had postpartum depression. If Malaya came out and said it, it'd be different. But when Daniel told Belinda that, I mean, I just don't trust anything Daniel says. I agree, Chai. The whole thing is heartbreaking for everyone. Hello, Andrea. Highly unlikely there will be charges without the bodies unless someone cracks. Oh, exactly. Yeah. Um, yeah, without bodies, they've got to find some other evidence, right? Or somebody's, which they are doing forensics, guys. So we don't know, right? We don't know. But yes, somebody cracks, then that's a different story. um, I don't think I'm even going to try. It's weird though, because the first part of that word is a word in Wisconsin. Antagonish. Big Island is where the waterfall is. Interesting. Where is Big Island? Where's Big Island? Anxiety keeps him talking. Yeah. Yeah, and it's gonna do him in. Yeah, I agree with you, Chai. They never agreed that the story would get national coverage, for sure, right? I looked on Google. They, I guess, don't like us. Maybe we are too rotten. Give them indigestion. All our spicy foods that don't sit well with the whales. Oh gosh. Let's see what this says. Just catching up with you guys here. I think Daniel gauges chats to see what people are saying, then he throws something in to try to throw people off. Yeah. He does exactly what Chris Proudfoot does. Two stepfathers who are playing the same game. Near as I could put it. Because they're not alike, personality-wise, but they're playing the same game. We would call Daniel Jaws to see what he says. Maybe I should make a video about Daniel. Yeah. I thought if we reported, then the whole story would disappear. Weird how that works out, right? Okay, I'm wrong. Shark is for species unspecified with the exception of white shark. Only they are prohibited. They are catch and release licenses. I wouldn't want to catch one. If we can spot all the inconsistencies in their stories, the police know more. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, if we're catching on to everything, the lies and the cover-ups and the distractions, guys, the distractions, you know our CMP sees it too. The only difference with our CMP is that they have to follow every stupid tip. They do. And I saw one today that just irritated me. Unbelievable. Oh, yeah. Daniel never talks about his addiction affecting his parenting and family life because he's perfect, right? He's perfect. I agree with you, Chai. On national news pleading for their return, not talking about, not answering questions to YouTubers, right? Crime science, I wouldn't go there if I were you. I don't think that that is plausible at all. The reserve would not put themselves in that position, in my opinion. Big Island is in the Minas Basin. That's a good point, Kate. If they were buried at any point, Daniel's been on enough YouTube to have gotten the idea to put them in water. Here's the thing. Daniel was such an avid fisherman. I think that was his first choice. I could be wrong, but you guys saw the pictures I showed. He was an avid fisherman. That would have been his first choice, I think. Belinda would call that a big dog bark. Yes, absolutely. She has a big dog bark. The Bay of Fundy has warm waters where sharks are most comfortable. Oh, that gives me the chills. Ginger Girl says woof woof to Lacey. She heard her, huh? She's down by Brenda Joe now. If we can go by what Wade said, he suspects they're buried, but he doesn't know. Right. He doesn't know that. So, where's he getting it from? In my opinion, right? Where did he come up with that from? Pats and hugs. I will tell her later when she comes back up. She's not a puppy anymore. She's going to be 12 years old this year. Really, the North Cumberland Strait is even warmer than the Bay of Fundy? It's further north, isn't it? Yeah. And when you talk about the 5,000 hours of video, I mean, right? Yeah, the whole area has sharks. I've been hearing that more and more the last couple of days. Daniel did, yeah. I saw part of it. And here's the thing, he says a lot of nothing, basically. Right? When he starts talking about what they did to cover up with the kids, then I'll listen to him better. Yeah. Nope, wouldn't get me in there. Not at all. I'm looking for that. I think it was to the east somewhere. Here it is. Right here is however you say that hard word. And if we're going to look at how far that is. Let me see if I can spell it right. Musquodoboit. It's 2 hours 37 minutes from where they live. So I don't know about that, guys. Yes, Daniel's acting too confident. In fact, I would say, go on, is to say bold and brass. Yep, I agree with you 100%. Hello, Nova. Good to see you. Talking about fish oils and cod liver oil. We have a growing population of great whites here, and to think I let my children jump off boats into the water their whole childhoods. Yeah. Uh, I have a phobia of deep water because I know what's down there too. Oh man. Neuro, all I heard on the dispatch was it was seen and they were sending someone to investigate. I heard nothing else on the dispatch or media about it. Yeah. Lots of scavengers in the ocean that would likely pluck away at any remains. Yeah, I agree. So this thing of Wade's, guys, I don't know where he came up with it, but if you're going to go 2 hours to bury their remains, see, I don't see Daniel doing that. I just don't. I have to tie my newfie up while on the deck now. He will jump in to rescue. That would be horrible. No. Too old to be that, but yeah, I would never have. I agree with you, Brian, right? Good. You summed it up good, really good. The whole kit and caboodle stinks to high heaven. It does. You know, no matter what you do, but when you look at the map, guys, that we're looking at right here, this is where they live. Okay. So look at what you got. You know, the North Cumberland Strait, the Chance, Harbor, that is the quickest 25 minutes. Yeah, I agree with you, Jay, but they have to have some kind of evidence, right? Showing that, you know, yeah, I don't want to get into what kind of evidence they would actually need, honestly, but you can kind of guess, right? But the best thing would be a confession. The best thing would be a confession. That advisory came out about 2 weeks ago. Then they removed it. If you look up Middle River and Alma, it washes out into Pictou and Chance Harbor. Gotcha. Okay. So it washes out into. My thought, Nova, always with the rivers is that there's a lot of things that they could get caught up on versus being washed all the way. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but it's always a possibility. When you look at Chance Harbor is only 25 minutes away, and you got a 6-hour timeline there, possibly more, right? But I don't know. It would really be nice to have more information, more facts to go on with this case, because it's all speculation, because we do not have enough. I'm sorry, I'm not going to take Daniel's word. I just can't. We don't take Darren's word, Durwood, Bewitched's word at all. Janie, hard to believe. So it's just tough. Anti-Gunish. Oh my gosh. Big Island over to your right. This one here. Interesting. I've heard people drop the T and can't figure out why. That's weird. Big Island Peninsula in Pictou County. Yeah. I see that. It's right to the east of Chance Harbor. Someone was watching out for your baby, Sandra. Hello, Bobby. Good to see you. Everyone is doing well. Has there been anything? No. I wish there was something new. I wish there was. Yours is called Bear, and he looks like a bear. Oh, we have 40 likes. Okay. All right, guys. Are you ready to do some dancing? Let's dance.
Durwood's got a swagger, a wild little flair. Struts like a model, doesn't even care. Too sexy for his chair. Yeah, he's floating on air. Too sexy for his chair. Too sexy, he don't care. White girls bouncing, he's a walking affair. Oh, Durwood, you're too sexy for your chair. His reflection winks back, yeah, it knows the deal. Every step he takes, it's a catwalk reel. The world can't handle, oh, the way he feels. He's got that vibe, that glow. A little too much, but we can't say no. Too sexy for his chair. Too sexy, stop and stare. White girl shining, he's beyond compare. Oh, too sexy for your chair. He's got that vibe, oh, that glow. A little too much, but we can't say no. Too sexy for his chair, too sexy, stop and stare. White girls shining, he's beyond compare. Oh, Durwood, you're too sexy for your chair. He dances through the kitchen, spins in the hall. Even his shadow's having a ball. That chair is jealous, can't compete at all.
Too sexy. All right. Let's see here. They report they received 600 tips. That's a lot of work. Yes, it is. And 5,000 videos. That's a lot of eye strain. And plan to seed in people's minds for his own reasons. I know. Yeah. Where did hear that Daniel drove Malaya's car to area near Earl's and the Pink Blanket? I'm not sure about that one. I think Daniel's a little worse than CP in my opinion, because CP doesn't try to hide what an a-hole he is. Daniel tries to hide it and pretend like he's this great person, which just makes it creepier. That's true. But sometimes Chris tries to act really nice as well. You know, he'll go from being just nasty to like an about turn and be super sweet. And that's creepy to me. I can see it, guys. It's right here. There. But thank you for pointing, Asprey. Hi, Shauna. Good to see you. What you put in water can come to the surface or wash up. Not if it's put in the ocean. Sharks are hungry. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me at all. I just don't see with Daniel being such an avid fisherman, guys, and all the water references in their statements, right? How many water references have we heard? The muddy backpack and yeah. Those aren't coincidence. Those are leakage, right? So hello, Teresa, who watched the ATV. You know, I don't know. Is Justin involved? Remember, Daniel wasn't allowed to drive the ATV. I wonder why. Yeah, there are a lot of rivers around there. A lot of them. North Cumberland Strait has the warmest water north of the Carolinas. That's interesting. You'd think they'd be the coldest, being the furthest north. Lori, you're going to be the first to crack. I don't know. I think I'm right in there with you. The longer it takes for kids' location should be longer to see their baby. They're already being able to see their baby, so 17-foot shark just found in Halifax Harbor. Oof. So guys, I'm taking it that sharks up by Nova Scotia that never used to be because the waters were too cold until global warming, I guess. Is that what I'm getting from you guys here? And now you're starting to see them? That water would be too risky, but I am thinking that if you know where to hide them, it would take longer to find than if buried. Yeah. I don't know. You'd have to ask him, I guess. Hello, Belinda. Good to see you. I believe Wade said whatever that word is because that, oh man. Well, that's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. And Belinda, on behalf of myself and everyone here, my heart goes out to you. I can't imagine what you're going through. Awful. I'm thinking they needed an alternative hiding place that was not where searchers and dogs would be. That's what I think as well, unfortunately. I've heard people call it Mosquito Bite Harbor. That's easier to say. Yeah. So now I do really have to question why Wade said that. That's awful. That's awful. It would make no sense. Yeah, I thought there was a different reason too, Nova. Now it makes me ill to think about why he said that. That's awful. So we've always had sharks, just more great whites now. They aren't sure if it's because of global warming or a population recovery. Gotcha. Okay. USA. You know what's really warm? The Bay of Fundy, you mean? It's full of sharks. Yeah. Um, that is where my first thought went. But the Bay of Fundy is like 2.5 hours away, where this Chance Harbor thing, I don't know, 25 minutes. Yeah, I have too. And I think that, you know, if something happened to the children, and let me get this straight again, guys. I'm not saying Daniel or Malaya did anything to these children, okay? I've never said that, but I do believe there was some kind of accidental something that happened. And there was panic involved, okay? That's my theory. I hope I'm wrong. I hope the kids are alive and safe somewhere, but that's my theory. And I don't think Daniel's first thought would be to put him in the woods, because he knows that that's the first place that law enforcement would look. Being an avid fisherman, my thought is his first thought is going to be water. That's my thinking. Like I said, I could be wrong about all of it. I don't have any facts to back anything up on. It's just that the more time that goes by without finding those children makes me wonder. They wanted to see what people frequented. Yeah. Because Ginger was talking about how they wanted to see video before that. Yeah, here's what I think. I'm sure that they wanted to know if the kids got home May 1st. That would be one of the things that I would think that they would be looking for. But also they're not going to rule out anything, right? Abduction, whatever. They're going to try to rule it out, right? But I just don't, given where they were, I just don't think those children were abducted. When he allegedly said, "There's your story." Also, in that story, there was an obvious thing that struck me. Daniel said the investigator smirked and said to him something. Yeah. Well, first of all, when he used the word story, we've done enough statement analysis on our channel, guys, that you know what that means. A story is made up, right? Aliens and Bigfoot, guys, I gotta tell ya, it's not so far-fetched. I cannot believe the garbage that is going on, especially in Facebook. Oh, it's awful. It's awful. And I can't even imagine. I I just can't even imagine being a part of the family and having to see the garbage that's coming out. Yeah. Yeah. The profession, I mean, RCMP has a lot more knowledge than we have. Hello, Eric. Water is very low here in Nova Scotia, but it wasn't in May, was it? I mean, you guys were getting a lot of rain in May, weren't you? I heard that, it was pretty high back then. Could be wrong. I don't live there, so. So Canadian that begins with D and Daniel said that M car was driven left near Earl's where the pink blanket was found. Interesting. The RCMP say they are investigating what led up to the children's disappearance as if there was some kind of plan in place. That's my thought too. Well, that's part of it, Shy. I don't know. If it's true that Malaya has lawyered up, then they can't do an interrogation on her. I don't know. Daniel says he's talking to them, but then Janie said that Janie said that they haven't given out any updates, haven't heard from them for weeks. So, who's telling the truth there? I don't know. Daniel is too confident about there being no evidence. He's pretty sure they'll never be found. Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing, and if Belinda's still in here, Belinda, tell me if you think I'm wrong, because I don't know these two, but I don't believe that either Malaya or Daniel are very strong on the inside. And I really feel like somebody's going to spill the beans. I don't think they're going to be able to help it. Yeah. Yeah, me too, Tammy. This channel has been behind Belinda from the beginning. Okay, let me see. I agree, getting caught up, it's a risk, but possible. The river was high and running fast, so I saw it just prior to them missing. Then the rain continued. Yeah, see, that's what I had heard, that the rain was, yeah, and that the river was high. May those responsible for the disappearance of these darlings never have a restful sleep until they confess. Amen. Amen. Yes. All of us here at Granny's Crime Busters are praying for that. Sorry, guys. I know I'm far behind, so. Sorry, Explorer. Oh. Someone was saying people were posting pics of Durwood on a toilet with KFC. Oh, maybe that should be the picture with the song. Oh my gosh. and and for those that are new in here tonight, our song about Durwood is because Durwood graced us with his presence, and I don't know, he called me a, I don't remember what he called me, some kind of deranged creator or something, and he called the chat idiots. So, we're just giving back. We're just we're just giving back, right? The title board came in at 4:10 a.m. on May 2nd. That could be found in all waters attached to the Bay of Fundy. Interesting. I'm going to wear my t-shirt 100% ironclad in Pictou County. Just realized tonight, white curls bouncing. Yep, it's white curls bouncing. Yeah. I'm hoping there are blankets chasing Daniel around in his dreams. I hope something's chasing Daniel around in his dreams and um shark or something. Yeah. I agree. You know, you don't want to upset law enforcement. You know, they're doing their best. They're dealing with guys. If they said 800 tasks, 5,000 videos, 600 tips, that's a lot to go through. And those 800 tasks can turn into more tasks because if they get a lead and they have to follow that, that could be more tasks off on that one task that they started with. So it's a lot of work. I think it was Dylan Ayler, father, who said that he gets a call and remains washed up. That is sad. You didn't know who Earl was either? Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, he wasn't living right on that same property, but yes, he's right down the road. I don't know. Could he be a part of all this? We don't know, guys. We don't know. I'm not gonna implicate somebody that I have no idea. Eric, the rivers are dry right now. Yeah. JDR, if they're in rivers or ponds, water may dry up. I mean, that's true. I just think that Daniel has been too smug. Now would be the time to check waterways. Yeah, I mean, definitely. You know, a river's not out of um the realm of possibility, guys. Especially if the river leads to the ocean, like Nova has told us. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. My thought is that they could get hung up. And if in that case they're low and they're getting dried out right now, that would be the time to look. You have drought conditions there right now? Wow. Well, that's the thing, guys. For those of you who live in Canada, anywhere near around there, Nova Scotia, check your waterways. You never know. If you're out and about, well, if someone knows Daniel's usual fishing places. Yeah, I wish that Lunker Trunk would have put where they were fishing. Yes, Belinda, I've been talking about them every night for since almost the beginning. Um, we watched your interview. We cried with you. Um, and yeah, we care about them. You know, we try to make it about Jack and Lily. Um, but we also have a little fun. You, you know, you have to have a little bit of fun because it's so dark. And I hate the thought that your grandbabies um, are not there for you right now, right? They're not with you. And I hate that. Makes me want to cry. So I can't even imagine how you're feeling. And most of us here feel the same way. I think we have mostly, we have a lot of older women in our chat, and we all kind of feel the same way. You guys even have campfire bands going on. But in May, the water levels were much higher. Yeah. I used to believe that sharks weren't here, but I'm being told they always were, just not so plentiful. We've always had warm summer water here in the North Cumberland Strait. Gotcha. Welcome divers and searchers. Yeah. Well, here, if people are wondering where to search, the waterways would be a good, they're saying they're all drying up. that would be a good place to start, right? Because honestly, guys, I don't know. I just feel like that would be Daniel's first thought if he was going to try to hide them. Oh, that makes sense, Trippy. Gulf Stream holds in the cold air, and Nova Scotia is usually on the warm side of the Gulf Stream, so warmer than a lot of northern U.S. states. Don't tell no one. Well, I think we're telling a few here today, but I didn't know that. That's interesting. Daniel has been planting seeds of abduction or kidnapping right from the very beginning. Yes. Yes, he has. Too much work digging, trying to get the surface to look undisturbed. It's a lot of hard work. Yeah. Well, and not to mention scent dogs, cadaver dogs could, I mean, Malaya believes the kids are alive too. I think most any mother would want to think that. Honestly, guys, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to feel about Malaya, to be honest with you. I feel that her and Daniel were going off a script. He used her script. I really feel that. Um, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Yes. Searchers and police are trained to look for disturbed growth. Explore, I think they had a map on one of those interviews where they showed where they searched. Oh, that's a good question, Nova. With the new fire restrictions, can they still search in the woods? So if anybody is going to look in the woods, you probably want to find out first. I agree with you, Eric, and excluding Belinda. I agree 100%. It's hard to trust, you know, the three that were on the property. It's very difficult to trust. I have a hard time with it. Yes, praying the RCMP finds something on those videos, right? Justice for Jack and Lily. No searching in the woods as of today. There you go, guys. The police only give proof of life Thursday in New Glasgow. um, I have it for family, basically. I think I've told you guys this before. My dad had 5 brothers and sisters, and my mom had 10. So I had a lot of cousins that I keep up with, all on Facebook. I did join a couple of Jack and Lily groups, Sebastian groups, but I don't keep up with them. Just sometimes on my newsfeed, something will pop up that really disgusts me. And I saw one today. In one of the RCMP's updates, I believe that they said they did search some lakes, but I don't think they said which ones. So I'm not sure. If I was there and I was going to search waterways because they're dry right now, I would start in a circle radius around the house going out. That's what I would do. Yeah. Belinda being number 1. The people who are innocent must be heartbroken. I can't even imagine. I get angry and irritated. I can't imagine. A drone search was done along the coastline. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Yep. Quite a bit of rain, right? Wasn't it raining the night that Janie was raking the driveway for the pool and Daniel was fixing a fence at night in the dark? I mean, crazy stuff going on. Hello, 007. Good to see you. What does that mean, Ginger Girl? A variety of interrogation techniques, including the Reed technique and the Mr. Big technique. What are those? Oh, and I ask and I receive. Ginger, you're awesome. The Reed technique is a structured approach involving stages of confrontation, theme development, and overcoming denials to elicit a confession. Interesting. I like it. The fact that there were fires in the area. Oh, why do you guys have so many hard words? Tatamagouche? Is that how you say that? I'm sure it's not, because every time I try to say something, it's completely wrong. Mountain Road was sus, in my opinion. Right, Chai? Yes. But here's the thing, if they have lawyered up, nothing RCMP can do about that. More recently, the RCMP has adopted the phased interview model, which emphasizes rapport building and empathy over accusatory tactics. Kill with kindness, in other words. Huh. The Mr. Big technique, a controversial method, involves creating a fake criminal organization to elicit confessions from suspects. Wow. Yeah, things get stuck in rivers all the time. That's, if you live 25 miles and you're able to put them in the ocean versus put them in a river, what are you going to do? He had a possible time frame there. So here's what I'm thinking. He said he saw them at midnight, right? If we're going to believe his words, that's 6 hours. I think if he saw them at midnight, that's when whatever happened. And he took them, made a plan. 25-minute drive. Easily get back in time. What happened to beat it out of him? 1970s technique. Yeah. I just can't get over how textbook Daniel is going on about very high profile custody case because everything, guys, here's the thing. This does not surprise me because Chris Proudfoot in the Sebastian Rogers case said the same exact thing. He talked about how this is going to be the most researched case and it's going to go down in history and they'll never find him. He even kind of brought it up in chats that because he came in, there was more people that jumped on and they got more views, more people jumped in chat because he was there. And oh yeah. So I think Daniel learned from Chris, in my opinion. If a lobster boat was used, they could very easily go on a long distance undetected. So I don't think Daniel owns a lobster boat though. So I'm just not sure. I mean, I agree with you. They could go a long distance undetected, but then you're getting more people involved in this, right? Because Daniel doesn't have a boat, I don't believe. JDR, no chance of me being stuck in the water. I don't go near it. Sure, Drippy. Oh, Walla, thank you so much. You're awesome. Lacey says, thank you. Daniel called you that? That's sad. Hello, Missy. Good to see you. Welcome in. Yeah. And that's the thing, right? They almost have to have, yeah, a good tip to go somewhere, right? Yeah. Yep. You know, Nova, the sad thing is he probably never saw his song. Oh. Thank you, Missy. Maybe I should put the words on the video. I hope, if he is, that he gets turned down. Hello, Shannon, by the way. Because first of all, these kids have only been gone for 3 months. Yes, 3 months too long. I don't mean to say the word only, but I'm just saying it's too soon for Netflix or a book deal, number 1. So, oh, that just makes me see red that he even brought up the Netflix thing. That irritates me. Guys, I'll have to add this one to our video. Oh my gosh. Yes. They have a lot on their plates, guys. And it's difficult. And if I were in Belinda's shoes, I would be going crazy, honestly. But you know, like I said, 800 tasks, 600 tips. I can't even imagine, right? I can't even imagine. Okay, let me see. Go back. Those are great. Those pics are great. I love them. I keep hearing that, Brian, but is it true they did? Is it in the news or anything? I would love to hear that. Yeah, I've heard that a few times that he was arrested. It's never been true. I want convictions and justice for Jack and Lily, so I will try to be patient and wait for an update from the RCMP. Yeah. Well, it's been less than a month because I think, what was it? July 16th was the last one. So, how'd you find out, Brian? Where did you see it? Yeah, I want to know where he found out. Right, Chai? The parents break up on the same day. One is well, it was the next day, right? One is super vocal, the other's super quiet. Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me either if he was. I just don't know. I've heard it before. Exactly. We've heard it so many times. How do we know it's true? Darren was called in for questioning a few days ago. I never heard arrested. Oh, interesting. Well, considering Chris Watts put his children in the oil barrels and buried his wife on his workplace property, one wonders if Daniel put them somewhere in their place he knows. That's why I think the water, since he was such an avid fisherman. I agree. Obstruction of justice in a big way. That's what I think. You know, if he gets arrested, obstruction of justice, I would think, is going to be a charge. Because boy, he was determined, wasn't he? Hello, Julie. Good to see you. He put a lot of hope in our brains. We were all hoping they were being hidden. Yeah, I can't imagine. Um, I when I first heard what he was saying, initially my thought was, I hope that's true. But when he said that they were on the reserve, I didn't believe it. Because I don't believe that the reserve would put themselves in that kind of situation. So I just felt that he was lying right from the get-go. Mischief will get you 7 to 8 years in Canada. Just ask Tamara and Chris. Gotcha. Oh no. We might have to. And we'll have to include the jail bars and the KFC, right? Yeah, Brian, are you listening to a scanner? Is that how you heard? That would be interesting. Darren definitely should have been pulled in again for questioning, inserting himself in the way he did, the fiction, telling people to, yeah, yes. Like I said, obstruction of justice in a big way, in a huge way. Yeah. That's a really good way to describe Malaya, Drippy. Stunned and disconnected. Yeah. I agree. I agree with you. Yes, even regular dogs can smell dead carcasses. They certainly can. They'll try to dig them up. Chai, was it your birthday? Did I miss that? Aw, last day of July. Well, we celebrate every birthday here, so hang on.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy belated birthday. Malaya has always been a follower. Gotcha. Yeah. I really get the feeling that she's not internally strong, right? That's what I get from her. I don't know why. Don't know her, just vibes or something I'm picking up on. Hello, Mr. Hemi. In my opinion, 4 on the property besides the kids. Yeah. I still want to know why Justin was crying. Yes, 007, you bring up a really good point. I was a forest ranger in New Brunswick, and you really have to prepare yourself and be with a team. Please don't go searching without doing your research and having a solid plan of action. I also agree with you, JDR. They're not in the woods. I think that if any searching should be done, my opinion, it should be the dried up waterways. I agree the waterways would be a good place to start. Wonder is Daniel would be transparent and tell us where he fishes in preparation for the competitions. Does he have a boat and was it searched? I don't know. I don't know. Malaya had an innocence about her. It was very charming. Gotcha. Interesting. That also tells me that, you know, with those texts about Daniel holding her down, taking her phone so she couldn't call her mother, that's DB. And those type of girls with, yeah, are just, yeah. That's sad. That's so sad. And it's hard to get out of a DV situation. Really hard. And harder yet if he's holding you down and not letting you call to get away. Our CMP may be starting to come around to Granny's theory. I would say that they probably always had that theory. They just have to look at all angles. Yeah, in her teen videos, very naive and very innocent. Yep. Very innocent. You could tell that Janie didn't like her. The way Janie spoke about her. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think they were talking about the lakes out by Lansdowne. It's too bad that they didn't mention which lakes, right? And rivers, because they mentioned lakes and rivers. They said in the area. How many of us thought they were in a body of water? Didn't take me too long to think that, unfortunately. Innocence or arrested development. I mean, that's a possibility, Mr. Hemme, but some people, and I was, just very shy, very naive, very introverted, without having anything wrong, right? So that, I mean, not that arrested development couldn't be a part of it, but there are also people who are just shy, innocent, introverted. Mr. Big is legal in a lot of places, but not there. Interesting. The anger takes away the sad, so the anger can help to keep me strong. Yeah, I can understand that. I can understand that totally. Yeah. What did we learn about? Let me see. I don't think I have it with me right now, but about loss where you don't have any kind of, there's no answers. That's got to be one of the hardest things, I think. I said that right? Tatamagoosh? Crazy. I can't see anything in X regarding arrest of Durwood. Police get you feeling cozy and gently try to say it's for your best interest to tell us your version of events. We can tell you want to get this off your chest. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, come on, guys. Who Who here really thinks that Daniel is buddy with RCMP as he thinks he is? I mean, I don't at all. You're putting up more. God bless you, Missy. That's awesome. You're giving away your tactics. Daniel thinks he's on the inside with the police. I know he does. Oh, yuck. Chai. That's horrible. Possibly Belinda, or could be that her mind is just so messed up right now because of everything going on. I hope things will work out with you both. I honestly believe she's not thinking clear. Yeah. I'm sure she's not thinking clear, right? That's a really good point, Ginger. The RCMP only use those tactics on persons of interest and suspects, guys. They're not going to use them on just anybody. You're still on that patch outside of Janie's fence. You know, here's the thing. The dogs would have picked up something, Sandra. Hello, Betty. Kind of sad to me they aren't even looking for these kids, in my opinion, because they know where they are, mother and stepfather. You mean the mother and stepfather aren't looking for the kids? Yeah. Yeah. Does his dad own a boat, or his brother? Um, Janie's brother, they all live right in and near each other, right? Any one of them could have a boat. I don't think Daniel has one. They're wet wastes. Yeah. Belinda, I see the stages of grief when I look at Malaya. In my opinion, she is stuck in denial and hanging around with emotionally immature girls. Well, birds of a feather. I think that Malaya is emotionally immature as well. So, um, I do think she is in denial for sure. I saw the stages of grief in her interview. Yeah. Stages of grief, perhaps, but her own words make me cringe. Yeah. I just have a hard time. I don't know why with Malaya. Does that surprise you, Tammy, that Daniel's story changed again? Because it doesn't me at all. He has changed it so many times. Monster chocolate chip cookies. That's right, Kate. Tons of video to go through the RCMP, 5,000 videos. And you have to pay attention. You gotta, I can't even imagine that. Brian is gone. Just another annoying distraction, probably. Uh-oh, it's that time again. Get ready to dance, guys.
Derwood's got a swagger, a wild little flair. Struts like a model, doesn't even care. Too sexy for his chair. Yeah, he's floating on air. Too sexy for his chair. Too sexy, he don't care. White girls bouncing, he's a walking affair. Oh, Derwood, you're too sexy for your chair. His reflection winks back, yeah, it knows the deal. Every step he takes, it's a catwalk reel. The world can't handle, oh, the way he feels. He's got that vibe, that glow. A little too much, but we can't say no. Too sexy for his chair. Too sexy, stop and stare. You're too sexy for your chair. He's got that vibe, oh, that glow. A little too much, but we can't say no. Too sexy for his chair. Too sexy, stop and stare. White girl shining, he's beyond compare. Oh, Derwood, you're too sexy for your chair. He dances through the kitchen, spins in the hall. Even his shadow's having a ball. That chair's jealous, can't compete at all.
Too sexy. Hello, Chelsea. Welcome in. All right. Yeah. Daniel claimed Derwood was his inside guy. That's right, he did. Thank you, Mr. Hemi. I see we're going on 3 hours, guys. That is a first for us. Time for our grannyism for tonight, right? kind of goes along with Durwood. Tricks and treachery are the practice of fools. They don't have brains enough to be honest. Benjamin Franklin said that. So if for some odd reason Durwood is in jail because he didn't have brains enough to be honest. Ooh, ground penetrating radar. That's very expensive. I agree with you, Chelsea. Doesn't make sense to hide the kids, even if CPS was involved. There are steps to work with them. CPS taking the children or Meadow just seems an unlikely reason to hide them. I agree, 100%. 100%. Those kids aren't hidden, unfortunately. I wish they were, but no more trials. If he dumped in the ocean, he would not get wet in ponds and lakes. It's messy. He claimed to be up to his chest in water. I mean, anything's possible, right? Anything is possible. Yeah, I agree. Shorelines may be a good place to look. That's true. Anyone can put themselves in water to make it look good. And didn't he say that that was when he was out searching to make himself look good? That would have been after the kids were already gone. Yeah. Yeah. They were taken away. All right. So guys, I realize I didn't get through everything. But Lacey needs to go out and I need to go to the bathroom. So we're going to call it a night. Want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you, Chelsea and Nova and Belinda. Appreciate you guys so much. You are in our thoughts and prayers, Belinda. We're right there fighting with you. Hoping for answers and praying for answers. Justice for Jack and Lily. Those babies deserve justice. All right. So that's all I had for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching another episode of Granny's Crime Busters. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even share the content. You can follow us on any of our other social media platforms at YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We really appreciate you guys, and you can also email us at granniescrimebusters@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.